I've got
We're
my
happy to
fake,
see you.
What's that?
I've got my fake Albuquerque look going on in the background there.
Nice. I'm actually on the road again, so I got the hotel room background. So
I know how that
that's a
one
good
goes. I was telling Lynn that artistically, I can barely paint a stick man. So I decided to have an artistic look just to look like I knew what I'm doing here.
there you go.
Hey, I see Rich is on. Hey, Rich.
Hey, just had to unmute myself. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, good. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Great.
Hey, Lynn. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Richard. How's everybody doing tonight? What was it, Monday? Yeah, Monday.
Off to a great start.
Hey, what do I win for being in here?
I'm going to kick
Nothing
you
for
out
you.
for asking.
That was quick.
Didn't you
That
win
might be a
something
record.
few years ago?
You give you the boot.
I think I won washed up something a couple years ago.
Yeah, so that's what you
I
It
gotta-
was
win.
longer than that.
It was
The
longer
dirty
than that.
sock somewhere. Mm-hmm.
Did you win the most overrated sales pro award or something like that?
I absolutely did. I absolutely did. Biggest forehead around. Hands down. That was me.
Right.
For those who's
You guys
joining, we're going to be showing
remember?
a presentation on Jay's forehead.
It is a beautiful sight, let me tell you.
Beautiful. Well, welcome to the call, Jason. We're happy to see you. Hello,
Oh,
Paul.
thanks.
Good evening. How you doing?
Doing great. Paul, is this my Paul from Wallingford?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, it is. This is hometown right there. Hey, Paul, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Sorry, I'm on my walk right now, so but I am going to be listening in.
Don't you dare apologize for caring about your mental and physical health.
Fine, I don't apologize. All right.
I think we're probably all motivated. Like, darn it, we need to go out and get that walk now after dinner.
Yeah, especially if it's as nice as it is. Gotta take every advantage of it. You know what I mean?
You bet. Yeah, I think we topped out at like 65 in Glastonbury here, Connecticut.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yep.
It's all right. No more long sleeves. We're done. That's it. It's over with.
They're packed away, right?
It's about to be.
Beautiful. So I'll give it another minute just in case a couple other folks want to trickle in, but I'll take a second just to introduce Mark Chavone. Mark is the Member Savings Program Manager for the Mobile Electronics Association. And for those that don't quite know, the Member Savings Program encompasses a number of different partners that can all offer savings and value around different areas of your business, their expenses, and things that you can offer to your shop and employees for discounts. But I think, it's 7:05. I think that would be appropriate to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to turn the floor over to Mark. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for the interest in the Mobile Electronics Association. Some of you may be members, some may not. If you're not a member, join-mea.com is the quickest way, and we're going to go over some of the reasons why your membership is so valuable. So take it away, Mark. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Lynn. Appreciate the introduction. We've got a relatively small group, so why don't we just, as questions happen, guys, why don't we just deal with them when they're top of mind? No, it doesn't have to be incredibly formal here at all. I will go over kind of a brief agenda because I need one in order to stay on point here. One of the things, as Lynn said, that we do is we work with MEA members and members of 26 other trade associations. and save, or hopefully save them many times over their dues. That's our objective. We're known as a group purchasing organization or a buying group, and we negotiate national deals with companies, over 40 companies actually, ranging the whole gamut of services that range from helping you out on your vehicles, gasoline, tires, batteries, etc., to office supplies for the shop, to payroll services, credit card auditing services, on and on. Something that has proven fairly accurate over the years, and I've been doing this 24 years with the trade associations I mentioned to you, is the indirect expenses are about 15% of most businesses' budget. So in other words, indirect basically means a lot of the small stuff that I just mentioned, not necessarily your main products that you would buy or obviously your labor costs, but the small stuff that can add up and make up as much as 15 or more % of your bottom line. So if you can chip away at that on services you may be already buying or potentially switch vendors, you can save, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on your profitability. And, that's some pretty big money that flows directly straight down to the bottom line. So one of the analogies I like to use is, depending on what your profit margin is, let's just take 20% as a mathematical easy thing to deal with. Roughly, for every dollar that you can save, that's going to be the equivalent of $5 in sales revenue. So our average member saves approximately, about $14,000. Let's use $10,000 for math at the end of the day. So that's really the equivalent of selling an additional $50,000 of goods. So those little things can add up and really make a difference to your bottom line. A couple of services, because 40 is kind of ridiculous to try to cover in one webinar, but a few services I wanted to bring to your attention today that I consider to be, and members have actually mentioned the phrase to be no-brainers, is ADP payroll, for one. They just recently increased our discount to 35% off of their rack retail rate, which is outstanding. And if you're using them already, you can still participate and get the additional bump if you're not at 35%, which most members would not be. And that's a big deal. That's leaving money on the table if you don't do that, quite frankly. The second one is Batteries Plus. That has been just a tremendous vendor for us over the last few years, 12-volt batteries in particular. And one of the things I'd like to mention about Batteries Plus, and one of the things that that I've learned and I want to share, is that our average, and an average is an average, member is below 75 employees. That's really our sweet spot where we can help people. But I have been proven wrong on the Batteries Plus scenario. Batteries Plus is selling, and I'm not making this up, to one company of ours, not in your industry, in another industry that gobbles up 12-volt batteries. They're in the security industry. They're literally buying $150,000 a quarter of batteries. And that's because the pricing is so doggone sharp. Batteries Plus has really put a focus on the security industry. And because we're all a part of the same organization, member savings program, that pricing applies to you as well as other groups. So I would highly recommend you take a peek at that as well. The third thing I wanted to focus on a little bit today is merchant cost consulting. It's a relatively new vendor since our last webinar we did last year. And it's a little bit of a different spin because you can take advantage of the savings, but not have to change vendors. So what I'd like to do is, I'm not sure, can everybody see this presentation, Lynn?
Yes.
Great. These are some of the most popular programs we have. Not all the 40, of course, but Discount Tire has been very, very popular with our members. Ace Hardware is probably, not probably,
Hey,
it
Mark.
is the leading
Um,
vendor.
Hey, Mark, one sec. For the
okay.
person that said they can see it, you can see what Mark's showing on his screen.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. All I see is you guys.
Okay, yeah, so no, Mark, we can't. But I think I can send over if you should just be able to hit share, I believe.
Okay, I guess that's true, yeah. But the top 6 vendors are Ace Hardware Discount, Tire, Batteries Plus. Sunbelt Rentals has been very popular with our membership. Huge discounts on equipment that you may not need every day, so you don't want to buy it, but you need to rent it from time to time. ADP Payrolls, we just mentioned, and Merchant Cost Consultants, which deals in the credit card processing space. We can send this presentation over to you guys later. It has a URL.
You could share
on-
your screen, Mark.
Okay.
Upper right hand, you should be able to hit share and then choose the window.
Okay. I'm trying to toggle between many open windows and I'm a little challenged at this moment, I guess.
That's okay. Is there a share button in the upper right hand next to leave?
Yeah, I clicked on that and it says choose on what you want to
Yep.
share.
Yep.
And
Perfect.
can you see it now?
Not just yet. Did you choose the window and say share?
Yeah, the window, let's see, window, that's not it. Hmm. Oh, goodness.
If you want, I can also pull it up and share my screen, Mark, if that's
All
helpful.
right, that'd be great because I'm having difficulties here.
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second just to pull up
Okay.
the pull that up from earlier. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Give me 1 sec. All right, can folks see my screen now?
Yes.
Perfect. Mark, I think we're ready for you. I think we lost Mark. He
Yeah,
should
I
be
don't
right
think he's
back
on
on,
the
though. That's okay.
Okay, first time doing a Zoom call or Microsoft Teams, you know, it's a new thing.
Yeah, these things can be really tricky, so we'll let him, we'll wait till he comes back in. But for anybody that's wondering, this is one of the benefits that you get, and these benefits can be passed on to anybody in your shop, your employees, even family in some cases. I know there's a couple of things in here that have to do with like rental cars. So when you're traveling and things like that, like if you travel to Knowledge Fest, you can use the rental car situation then, even if it's not a normal occurrence for you, you can use all these benefits on a one-off whenever you do or don't need them. All right, let me get Mark. Gonna give him a quick text. So we've also been working on, just until he gets back, I'll just try to rattle off a few things. So we've changed a few things. Chris has made a few nice adjustments at the mobile electronics website. So you can use join-mea.com. That will get you to the main landing page. And then from there are some pretty easy links to show you all your different benefits. You can go to the members only area once you've logged in. And if you don't have your login yet, that's okay. We can send you a new one, or you can do the forgot password function within the website. So that's pretty instant. And then you'll go to the right, you'll log into the members only area, and that's where we stash the good stuff. That's where we stash the links to find the partners. And I see Mark coming in, so we'll welcome him back.
Lynn, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Mark.
Yeah, I'm technically dangerous, as you guys can tell. Sorry about that.
You're
Um,
fine.
That's great that we've got the presentation. I appreciate that. We're down a few slides now. And I assume you're in control of that, right?
Yeah, I can do. So let's see. Let me go back. I should be on the beginning slide if that's what you're seeing.
Yep, yep. So we've gone past that and we've covered, if we can toggle down that, we've covered.
Okay.
And there we go. Yeah, so as I was mentioning to you, the top services are outlined there. Ace Hardware by far is the leading interest, if you will, of MEA members. Also, our gasoline programs have been very popular, as well as Batteries Plus, Sunbelt, ADP, and Merchant Cost Consulting as well. So if we could go to the next one, that'd be great. This is the one-stop registration page where you can see all of the programs and find out more about it and learn more about it and register to talk to someone about which programs you're interested in. And again, we'll email this out afterwards, but if you want to copy and paste it, feel free to do that. That's really the core page that you want to bookmark if you ever want to check out the services or have any inquiries. We could go to the next one. That'd be great. So ADP is usually, it's funny, I put the presentation together and I realized I hadn't called out what they are because they've been around for so long and most people have ADP top of mind as a payroll company. They do some other things in the HR arena, but primarily payroll has been their historical sweet spot. You know, what you do with these guys is you save money, you save time, and maybe most importantly, above all, they keep you in good standing with all of our governmental agencies from a compliance standpoint. They'll tell you what you need to do from a manual perspective to a posting in your break room, et cetera, perspective. And that's really helpful. So you don't have to chase all that around and make sure you're compliant. As I mentioned earlier, they've just increased their discount after we negotiated a new deal with them to 35%, which is outstanding. Most members have a discount, but based on their size, it's not nearly 35%. So you can raise your hand and say, hey, switch me over to the member savings program deal and give me the 35%. And without changing vendors, which can be, as you know, painful in the payroll processing world, you get an additional discount. So that's like found money. So if we could go to the next one, Lynn, that'd be great. Batteries Plus, as I mentioned, huge benefit to our members. A lot of unexpected savings on the 12-volt side, but they also do a lot of things I didn't know they did. They have batteries of all sorts, but they also do things like fob battery replacement, which I needed badly on my Subaru last year, and also a laptop screen replacement. There are 700 locations around the country, and they're locally owned, and it feels like they're a local store with national buying power, which is kind of a nice combination. So if we can go to the next one, that'd be great. Lynn, are you multitasking over there? Key reasons to check out Batteries Plus through our program. Excellent product quality and availability. They did a great job during COVID and with supply chain anticipating having available batteries so that you could stop by and get what you need. And that was a big deal for our members. Discounts, no kidding, up to 73%. Not all of them are that high, but you can count on discounts, 20, 30, 40% on most of the SKUs that you would buy. I personally, and I'm raising my right hand here, have used them, I think about 4 times in the last 3 to 4 years that we've been involved. I go by different because I'm in the Phoenix market. There's a lot of stores, and I go to them for car battery replacement a couple of years ago, the fob replacement, and a laptop screen replacement. And I never tell them that I've got a national deal with them because I want to see what the average customer would experience by going to them and, see what kind of treatment, what kind of pricing. And I was actually, this is a true story, floored one time when I went in and the sales guy talked me out of a higher priced SKU. And I was going, are you sure? I mean, is this, he said, no, this is a better decision, I think. And I was really impressed with their service, their turnaround. And again, they really come across as a local company, but with the national buying power and resources, which is pretty awesome. They usually with SKUs have 3 options for you, kind of a economical option, a mid-range option, and then a best option, which obviously the trade-off usually there is longevity versus price. They'll actually come out to your location and do a walkthrough with you, everything from your lighting in your shop to emergency signs to anything else that you might carry there to kind of right size and make some suggestions on what you might do to better economically run your business regarding bulbs and batteries. And they'll give you special project price quotes in case you have some huge project that can go even deeper than the normal prices that we have access to. We could go one more. These are very popular SLA batteries, but they also have lithium batteries, as I'm sure you probably know. Those are the key selling batteries that we've seen from members. We could go one more. And again, the real key to their business is being not everywhere, but 700 locations across the country is pretty good. So you should have one pretty close. Availability of product is outstanding. Supply chain, as I mentioned before, is a strong suit for them. The people really know what they're doing there. They're well trained. They get good delivery quickly to you. We talked about the different options that they provide, the walkthroughs that they provide, and the special quotes in case you have some huge quantity order. We could go one more, Lynn, that'd be great. And that's the registration link if you guys are interested in learning more and talking to them and seeing if they can help you save some money on your batteries and your bulbs and your repairs for that matter. And one more. MCC. This was actually, these guys, there's 15 of them, relatively small company, and they were referred to me by a person in Lynn's role in charge of membership with another trade association. And this person had worked with them in another trade association life and highly recommended them. So as you would guess, that's pretty high praise from the right kind of people. So I engaged with them and learned more about what they did and how they did it. And I really like this model, and I would really encourage you to talk to them, and I'll tell you why. Most people, when you talk about credit card processing, want to run away from you as quickly as possible. And quite frankly, I understand that because I've been in this business 24 years, and there's a lot of, let's put it this way, not terrific players in the space. A lot of stories, a lot of come on offers, and then you find out you're not getting what you were promised, et cetera, all too common. The beauty of this is that these 15 guys came from that business and said, there's got to be a better way to help the customer and help ourselves too, let's be honest. So they started Merchant Cost Consulting, and they are not a processor. What they do is they basically represent you a little bit like an attorney might, and look at your contracts, look at what you're being charged. They know the market. They know what the going rates are and the appropriate or non-appropriate fees are. And if they look at your agreement and they look at what you're being charged, then they identify some or many things that are not to your benefit, they can represent you and negotiate with your existing processor and say, look, we know the business, we know the deal, and here's the things that you need to correct. Or else we're going to tell our client that maybe their business might be better served going elsewhere. And so they act as an audit representative, if you will, on your behalf. And the key to this is they may come back with, hey, you're good, everything's fine. And then you have absolutely paid nothing to know that you're in good shape. Or they've identified a significant or significant amount of savings. And they say, would you like us to represent you? And straight up, they got to make money too. So it's a rev share deal. And we've negotiated a good, better than off the shelf rev share deal with them. And they represent, they garner the savings for you. And as soon as you start seeing the savings, you've done no changes to your equipment, no changes to your software. You're still using the same company. And one of the questions I ask, and you may be asking too, is do I still want to do business with the company that apparently either intentionally or unintentionally has been goofing on me? And, the answer is individual on that. Some people don't want the pain of change so much. They go, yeah, you bet. I'll take the savings and we'll just move on. And some people say the heck with those guys and we want a different processor. And we can help you with that if you so choose. So we're really excited about bringing this option to the table because it creates very little change on your part, very little work on your people's part, but yet can offer some cost savings opportunities. And as you can see on the slide, that is the URL to go to indicate your interest in talking to the folks at Merchant Cost Consulting. So if we could go to the next one, that'd be great. And that basically is the summary. Just to reiterate once again, all of the 40 plus services are on that one page that if you go to that link and check it out, you can see everything we offer. And when you click on those icons, you'll see more detail about what the program is and the benefit to you. And we try to make it simple. We've tried to boil it down as much as we possibly can, so it's not a pain in the neck to deal with, and something that's pretty straightforward. And that's the end of the presentation. Any questions that you guys might have, or ladies?
That's awesome, Mark. We love seeing those. So is anybody on this call? I don't know, you can hit the raise your hand or unmute yourself or whatever. Is anyone currently using ADP for their payroll on this call? Because I know that's probably one of our most used benefit. That is the most used benefit in MEA as far as members go. So I don't know what providers you're using, if you'd care to share on this call. But it's worth looking at. It's absolutely worth taking a peek. If you're already a member, that's super easy to do. We have links right on the website in that members only area, like I mentioned, where you can go in and request information. I think that's how it works, right, Mark? You send them your info and then somebody from ADP contacts you and then effectively does an audit of your payroll, sees what you're paying now, and then suggests if there's a better price they can offer.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a members only deal. And like Mark said, that's not something that you're really finding just in the normal course of events as far as finding a provider goes. This is something that they earn because of the buying power that they have, because of the number of people that are using it. It's just like buying in bulk. Everybody knows how it works when you do your buy-ins, when you do your bulks. It's cheaper that way. And so that's kind of the no-brainer to all of this is ADP. And I know 90% of the shops out there are doing some kind of payroll. I know, save a few shops that are just maybe one or two guys, but I'd say the majority of our folks are doing some kind of payroll. And if nothing else, absolutely worth taking a look at. No skin off anybody's back if you do or don't go forward with it, but you would be doing a disservice if you don't try.
Yeah, one other thing I'd like to mention, Lynn, and it kind of piggybacks on your comment, is if I've seen situations where you might have a small shop in terms of staff members, and it grows. And in the payroll case, you may have done payroll yourself in-house, maybe a husband and wife team for that matter, and whoever does the back of the shop administration does the payroll. And at 2 or 3 or 4 people, it's not bad. It doesn't take an awful lot of time and effort. But let's say you get up to 15 or 20 people and you're trying to be compliant, et cetera, it can become a real pain in the neck and suck up a lot of time. And that may be worth it versus employing a service, but it may no longer be worth it. And it might be a more prudent decision to use somebody and outsource that particular function. So, things change, and especially if you've grown, it might be worth taking a peek at.
Yeah, absolutely. So, those are kind of the top 3 that Mark is talking about. Mark, can you take a minute and just kind of lay out for us a few of the other benefits that some of our members find beneficial to them?
Sure. Gasoline is a very obvious savings. We all have vehicles, and some have multiple vehicles or fleets. And we have a couple of vendors in that space. One is WEX, which you probably have heard of over the years. They actually rebranded a couple of years ago from Right Express, who'd been around for decades. It's still the same company, but they rebranded as WEX. We also are using a service called Coast Fuel cards. The differentiator for them is you can authorize it's a credit card, literally. You cannot, WEX, it's gas only. That's the deal. You go to the store or the filling station, if you will, and 98% of the gas stations in the U.S., by the way, participate in this. So it's very common across the U.S. So that's WEX. Now, Coast, in addition to that, you can authorize things like going to Home Depot. It's a credit card. You can authorize them to go to Lowe's, et cetera, to buy, various tools, or Ace Hardware for that matter. And so it's a little broader card that gives you that option if you so choose. So gasoline savings obviously is a big one. As we talked about before, Sunbelt Rentals, from time to time, you need a scissor lift or something of that nature. That's a very, very good program. So Ariat workwear and uniforms, boots, for example, very good quality stuff. You guys may have some of that yourselves. It's been very, very popular with our security industry folks. Not the cheapest game in town, but excellent quality. So it will normally outlast many other brands. And so you get what you pay for type of concept that it'll last longer, but it might cost a little bit more on the front end. But we've got an automatic discount with those guys as well. So again, if you go to the one-stop registration, you'll see the whole plethora. We've got health plans as well. We've got 401k. I mean, there's just an awful lot of things to take advantage of. So I'd encourage you to go to that one-stop link and check out and see what makes sense to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mark. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the chat, and I'd invite everybody to actually go ahead and, to click the link. And let me first do this, right? Let me get to the chat. And what this link is going to do, I'm also going to share my screen with you guys. So in case you don't feel like clicking or want to just follow along. So you should be seeing some tiles now. Can anyone confirm you see the tiles? Yeah. Okay.
I can see
Perfect.
it, Lynn. Yeah.
Awesome. So these tiles are very helpful. You can click one or all of them, and it'll take you in, give you some more information about how the benefit works, and then offer you how can we reach you. So it's not something where you have to sign up and then everybody's going to be bombarding you with partner offers and things like that. You're going to go in one at a time, and you're going to choose which of these benefits make the most sense to me in my business. So let's see, we've got back here. For instance, like the fuel, what Mark was talking about with WEX, you can go in here and, here's just sort of the informational tile on WEX. Same thing below, let them contact you. All right, so each and every one of these tiles has that. Feel free to just go through and find out which ones work best for you. These are all like no strings attached offers. They'll figure out if this is a good benefit for you. Maybe some of these won't be, but maybe some, a lot of them will be. So, what else can I say here?
Yeah, and Lynn, what we
Yeah.
find with members that do engage and go through the process you're talking about, that at first it might seem like small money, but we find members can save $200 with ACE and $100 with Staples and X amount with, shipping. We didn't touch on shipping, but inbound shipping as well as shipping to outbound. And, that's huge. One of the other things we've just introduced is a travel platform that is basically a Priceline or an Expedia type of service. And I've used them now for 3 years and saved a boatload of money. I travel an awful lot, especially on hotels. And before I put them on as a vendor for us and for MEA, I tested it against Priceline and Expedia, and they beat them 9 out of 10 times. And I actually got a report back that showed I'd saved $1,600 last year on my hotels. So that's a little added bonus. And their customer service is awesome as well. It's called Engine. They're actually running a special right now where if you spend $2,500 in hotels over the first 90 days of signing up, they'll give you $1,000 worth of credit, travel credit on your account. So that's kind of a nice spiff to try them out and see what I've seen essentially. And it's a nice one-stop shop. You can set parameters for your employees if you have salesmen or technicians that travel to trade shows or what have you, and set some limits on that and turn it over to them to book through it. I'd highly encourage you to do that as well.
Yeah, that's really great, Mark. So, and again, as that applies to Knowledge Fest, MEA does generally have room blocks and everything for you guys. Sometimes we sell out. Sometimes the event is so popular that we sell out. There could be a number of different reasons. Maybe you're going to visit a vendor. Maybe you're heading out to another shop. It doesn't have to be just personal. It can be within your industry and business travel. That way, when you're handing in your expenses or whatever that looks like, you can say you did the very best you could in order to find the best deals. So that's part of why we present so much value as the Mobile Electronics Association, because we partner up with all of these amazing vendors and we're able to give the very best value in every opportunity that we can, because we have a lot of members and growing. So as that grows, so do our partnerships and so do the values that those partners bring. So rising tides raise all boats in this situation. The more we're using the benefits, the more benefits we get and the better deals we get. So like to think of it as, maybe like a co-op in that sense where we're all helping to raise the benefits together.
That's well said.
Thanks, Mark. So let's see, what other questions do we have? I'm just gonna leave it open for 10, 20, 30 seconds. If anybody has a question about these, fire away. No, okay. Awesome. Well, that was 10, 20, or 30 seconds. So
Yeah, one last thing, if I could, and I always say that, I guess, but any suggestions on vendors, guys, that you might say, hey, boy, it'd be nice if we had a deal with X.
yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes the answers aren't always right there. You're not always expecting a question, which is totally fine. If you
Sure.
do think of something and you say like, hey, I kind of left the call, I went through my business expenses and I noticed that like, this is one of the areas where I think I could really save. I'm not seeing any discounts. Please feel free to email it to me. It's as simple as Lynn, Lynn, at mobile-electronics.com, and I will happily take care of that. Let's see. So just another couple of things regarding the Mobile Electronics Association. We are very proudly the #1 and only mobile electronics, or what am I trying to say here? We are the we are the association on top of the industry. We keep on top of everything, the awards, the magazine, the trade shows. We have our fingers on the pulse at all times. So if there are things that are coming, you guys are talking about as shops, you're talking about as reps, vendors, whatever that might be, you see ways that the industry can improve, or that we can, take the platform that we have and use it for good. Things like education, networking, services, things that can bring us all together and help us to collaborate a little bit more. Like there's this saying that goes around and says, like, hey, at the top we're collaborating, and at the bottom we're competing. So we're here to collaborate with everybody. We want to make sure that we're thinking of everyone and what your views are as well. So I'm going to be personally holding more and more of these meetings. We're going to look at all the different benefits that MEA provides. It's not just these sort of member savings partners. There's all different ways. There are professional website services, our services like TSS and MAID are two of the software services that we provide. Also, we offer a service for your if your retail lobby has a television set, or even your bay has a television set, we offer services through Moto TV where they're providing content. They're preloaded with content from all of your vendors. So you would go in, you'd sign up, and you'd say, I use these 5 vendors and not these 7. So you get customized content. It's very simple. It feeds right to your billboard. When I started this program 5 something odd years ago, I actually had a couple of shops that brought it on in order to educate the guys in the back. So what they would do is they would run through like YouTubes of trainings and things like that on that billboard. And we can front load that with whatever links that you want, whatever channels, programming, customized content, pricing for your shop, things like that. So it's as simple as, doing like what I have on my background, making a little graphic and sending it up. So people find value in that, especially if they have customers who are sitting in their waiting rooms with nothing to do. Might as well use that real estate to be selling. So aside from that, we offer the National Dealer Locator, which puts all of your information available to consumers. So if they're in Nashville, they're going to go and they're going to say, hey, give me this zip code and show me who's around. And if you're on that dealer locator, you're going to be one of the shops that they call. If you're not, they may not find you that way, because they're going there because it's a trusted and respected site where they know that they can find a vetted retailer. Let's see, everybody knows Knowledge Fest, but did you know that there are members only invites to certain events, things like that going on that you might not really be aware of if you're not a member? Or even if you are, please make sure that you're, keeping up with social media and emails and things like that, because we try our best to get all the information possible out there. And again, I'll keep doing these meetings so that I can provide this information any way possible. All right, that's what I've got. And I would just like, again, to just open it up for a half a minute if anyone has questions regarding the association itself or some of the things that we bring to the table. Everybody jumps at once. Awesome. Hey, that's okay. No worries. You guys know that you can email me anytime. You can get me on Facebook. I'm pretty simple to get a hold of. So let's see. How you doing over there, Richard? Do you have anything you wanna say to the group while you're here? I put Richard on the spot. I shouldn't have done that. All right. Well, no worries there. So, as promised, we are giving away a set of Sony headphones to a lucky retailer on this call. So I've gone ahead and I've put the names into a special spinner, randomizer spinner, and I think I've got everybody Let me see. Okay, give me one sec. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel. I'm going to share my screen as soon as I can. Okay, give me a sec to move back over. Okay. So I'm going to spin, and then the
Nice.
winner, the winner will get drop shipped a pair of headphones from Sony Electronics. All right. You guys saw it here first. So
That's
Chris, you're the
funny.
winner.
I'm
Let's
telling.
see. Yeah. Can you go ahead and send me your, email me your address, please?
Yeah, for sure. Not a problem.
And it's Lynn, Lynn at mobile-electronics.com.
Gotcha.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for being here. And again, we're gonna run these meetings every other week or so until I run out of benefits. So very happy to see everyone. And talk to y'all soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Lynn. Take care.
Yep. Thanks. Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye, everyone.